Okay, today we are going to field strip the Glock 22 40 cal. This is most weapon of choice by a lot of police officers for a service weapon. This was my service weapon when I worked for the armored truck company. It's been a really good one. It only misfired on me one time, and that's because I did not clean it. So please be sure and clean your firearms, especially ones you use as a duty weapon. It's fairly easy to take this apart, take Glocks apart. The only thing I don't like about field stripping a Glock is you have to pull the trigger. I don't like that. But as we get started, first things first, always make sure it's unloaded. So I'm going to drop the mag, lock the slide into place, and as you can tell, I'm not really sure if you can, but there is no bullet in the chamber. You can put your pinky down in there. Sometimes I'm a little iffy about that, because if that slide were to, it will hurt. But 9 times out of 10, once you lock the slide into place and look down into the chamber there, you can see whether or not there's a bullet in there. So now that we know that there is no bullet in the chamber, you release the slide, you have to pull the trigger, unfortunately. Then you take it, pull back on it just a little bit, and on each side of the handle there's 2 notches that you have to pull off, and the slide will come right off. There's this one there and that one there. They have to be pulled down at the same time, and then the slide will come right off. Now you have the barrel, the spring, and the slide. So the next thing you do is you compress the spring. That should come right out. Then you take the barrel out of the slide, and then you have the Glock field stripped and ready for cleaning. I'm not going to go into depth with this. There are other ways you can take all these components, the firing pin and different things like that, out of the slide. But again, we're not going to go into that, because to field strip it to clean it is, to me, is really unnecessary. What I normally do when I clean it is just run a brush and some oil down the barrel, and then I make sure that I rub some oil on the barrel and wipe it all off. Same thing with the slide. I usually use rim oil. You can just spray a bunch of stuff down in there, a bunch of rim oil, soak it, and then you can take one of these brushes and you just brush it out real good. Same thing with the firing pin. Then I usually, once I've done all that and I've wiped all the oil out, I usually just run a small coat of oil over the slide itself. Then, normally, and again, you don't have to do this, but I normally do, just put some drops of some rim oil. Drops. Now, you don't want it to glob. Again, you don't want it to glob everywhere, because it will. So be careful when you're putting those on there. Normally with the slide, with the handle, normally do the same thing here and here, there and there, and then put it back together. So now it's time to reassemble. Again, it is not difficult. First, you just take your barrel, slide it right into the slide. Then you take the slide spring, put one end here, and you compress the spring until the spring is, there we go, it's behind that notch there. And then you're ready to put the slide back on the handle, which, again, there's grooves just on every slide, on every handle. You just match those grooves up and rack back, and it locks in place. Now, that's one thing I like about the Glock, is once you put the slide back on, you don't have to worry about putting a pin or anything back in. It automatically catches. You just rack it and you're good to go. So that is the Glock 22 40 caliber. Again, it was my service weapon, one of the best ones I had no problems out of it. But again, you do want to clean it, maintain it, and take care of it. thank you guys again for watching.